Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. We're looking at Track Theorem Solid. Woo, did that hook a lot. Another ball review. Today we're looking at the Track Theorem Solid, the third ball in the track line. First one, very popular, the Theorem Hybrid. I do have one here. We're going to showcase it in this video as well, but today I'm going to compare it to the Track Stealth Mode, another solid, but that is symmetrical, where the Track Theorem Solid is asymmetrical. Those balls are probably going to be close in your arsenal, so those are the two that I wanted to compare today. Just want to make sure before we get into this, I thank Pinterest Veteran for allowing me to come out here and do my videos and all my coaching. All right, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, that one kind of hooked a lot. I did scratch each ball up with 1,000, so that way both surfaces are the same. All right, so how did I drill this ball? I drilled this out on the PBA 50 Tour this summer before the Tournament of Champions. The layout is right there. We went 60 by 4.5 by 35. You're gonna see in this Track Stealth Mode, I drilled that one at the US Open earlier this year in the PBA 50 Tour. That layout is going to be 60 by 4.5 by 45. So the layouts are very close. So that way you can really compare and see how different an asymmetrical solid is from a symmetrical solid. All right, so we got to move left. All right, there we go. Now we found it. You can tell here we do use a version of gateway arch, so it is really dry to the right. And now that I got left with the second arrow, that ball was able to cut through the oil the right way and make a nice smooth, kind of a benchmark motion, which I'm liking from this one. Where you'll see from the stealth mode, it should be similar to that, but just in a weaker symmetrical version. All right, one more shot here. In between second and third arrow. Like you can see from that shot, this is very smooth, very predictable. The ball numbers, which are right there on the screen, they really match up to my game and how I throw it. Where I had a lot of success with the original Theorem. I did win a tournament with it when I first signed with Brunswick in January. So in a couple minutes, we're going to showcase that one. That cover is going to be a lot cleaner, so it should be give it a lot more length, but it should have that smooth motion that it did, where I know some people, if you have a higher rev rate, it is going to be more angular, but for me with my rev rate, it is a little bit smoother, but just with a weaker cover. All right, one more time, more left, because you know my ball's reading the rain, laying the right way. I mean, what's not to like about that? You see some of my videos, I move left into the oil and the ball doesn't seem to want to cut through, but this one was looking pretty good. All right, now I'll switch over to the stealth mode and see what that one, how that ball reaction is different. All right, and this is the second this is the second stealth mode I did drill. The video they have on my channel, if you're done with this, go ahead and watch that one. It was the first one I drilled, so that one was, the layout was very similar, but I just didn't like the shape that it gave me, so I drilled this one instead. All right, so same thing. This ball we're going to move to the right, back to the right. Not too far though, because it's drier out there. Around second arrow. Man, I don't know. These balls are pretty close to each other. The Theorem Solid should be stronger because it's asymmetrical compared to this, but this does have a higher differential in the stealth mode. So it's going to pick up early, it's going to flare more. And as you raise the differential, it's probably going to be a lot earlier. When I first drilled this at the US Open, the Senior US Open, I really didn't like it. Now I do. All right, we're going to move left off of that one, even though it wasn't as far right down lane as I wanted, but it's not bad. That one looks like it's more of a heavy rolling ball. It's not as quick down lane. It is a little bit rounder. It could be because of that second, it could be the angle, the valve angle, because I made it 45. Could make it a little bit more continuous, a little rounder, where the 35 is going to come off the dry a little bit harder. But let's throw one more shot with it, then I'll throw the regular Theorem, and then we'll go back to the Theorem Solid. Now, as you can see, by scratching both of these balls up with 1,000, that's what I'm going to keep it as if I have enough volume. We are here a little bit earlier in the day, so probably not as much use on this pattern, even though it's not right when they open. And there's the limits. I got a little too far right with that solid cover, and as smooth as it wants to be, it didn't come off the dry as sharp, where probably the Theorem Solid might be able to have some more recovery because of that val angle. All right, let me throw the regular Theorem and see what that one does. All right, and the layout on this Theorem is right there. This ball has a lot of games on it, so I'm not expecting it to be really close to the solid since that one's brand new, but we'll see. It does. It has the same round, smoother shape down lane, but it goes a lot longer. So with that ball being in the line for so long, and now this new Theorem Solid is in the line, it could be a little bit of a replacement for you if they decide to discontinue that ball. Don't quote me on that. Just saying, it's been in the line almost a year and a half now. Now we have this Solid, which is really close, because you always polish up the Solid and make it similar shape as the original Theorem. I move a little left. As you see, the core numbers really match up to my game and how I laid them out. Where some of the other balls, some of the other balls don't. All right, that's exactly what I wanted to show you. Weaker cover, shinier. It's going to skate through the oil. It's really not going to do the change of direction. It's still going to be smooth like the Theorem Solid because that's the way the ball is designed to do. But if you have a higher rev rate, it might be quicker off the spot. All right, one more shot. We're going to throw it more right though. I'm not going to move left. I'm just going to throw it more right in the same spot to get it in the dry. See how it does. And like that. So this ball is a ball I'm going to use later in blocks when the lanes are transitioning, not really on this house shot where these other two balls with the solid covers are really digging into the oil and give me a smoother ball motion I like to see when it's on the fresh, as I mentioned in my past videos. All right, let's go back to the Theorem Solid and throw some more shots. All right, let's go farther left this time and see what this ball does. Hopefully it'll come off the spot the right way. What's not to like? What's not to like? That's nice. Getting a little winded, throwing little shots a little bit faster. All right, let me throw one more shot with this. All right, let me throw one more shot with the stealth mode and see if we have the same type of reaction or it's going to go a little bit longer because of the weaker core. A little left, and it was fighting through the oil. It didn't come and give me that change of direction kind of like the Theorem Solid did. So playing in there right now, this ball is a little bit too weak for me to play that part of the lane. All right, one more shot and we'll wrap this up. Oop, that's a bad one. Oh. Yeah, see, low rev rate, can't get the messages to come across there. One thing you might be thinking as you're building your arsenal, whether you need both of these bowling balls. I believe if you're a lower rev rate player like me, where this stealth mode and this track Theorem Solid are very close when it comes to the strength of the ball, where from front to back, that I don't think you need both. You just have to pick one or the other, and because they make very similar shapes. All right, let me move a little bit left. All right, that's a ball motion I could fall in love with. All right, guys, that's my ball review on the new Track Theorem Solid. Looks like it might be a pretty good replacement for the original Theorem if it does come out of the line, but it's still in. So if you have both, you'll have two different ball shapes, even though you're using the same core. And remember, do that thing, hit that like, subscribe, turn on that bell for notifications so you know my content hits the internet. And peace out. Have a great day.